Let's start with the grade for the offense. Ray, what grade do you give that offense?
I gave the offense a C. You know, I mean, it was not nearly what I expected the offense to be with the weapons that we had. But again, when you don't have an offensive line for the first 7, 9 games, 10 games, you can't even evaluate your quarterback or your running back or the wide receivers, because I think Sam was pressing so hard. You know, there was a stretch of 2 games where every single pass he threw was off his back foot. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them. I said, and Beachum comes back. They get Khalil on IR. They bring my big boy Harrison back in there, and things started to change, and you saw him transferring his weight forward. So, again, with all the injuries, it's very hard to evaluate this offense.
Bart?
I give him a C as well. Just average. And really performed below average, but you want to say, okay, you had a quarterback with mono, you had a guy that you called off the couch that didn't really work out, you had a left guard that you spent a lot of money on Kaliche Asimile, and it took a while for them to get that chemistry. Like I said, the frustrating part for me, and listen, whenever you finish 7-9, you hope that the guys that got the experience will know how to win in pressure situations. But I don't know anything. I don't know more about this team today than I did before the season started. I almost know less because I knew what we were getting when you got C.J. Mosley here. Tremaine Johnson, they have to address that. So I give him a C because, whenever you finish ranked where this offense
last all
ranked,
season, 11th now where they are now.
We can make all the excuses we want, but we watched a fire sale in Miami.
Right.
And we watched that offense with Parker and with the others. Right, they got rid of a Pro Bowl left tackle. So I don't want to hear anything about not having an offensive line because the Dolphins found a way to be productive, and the Jets just didn't. But to their credit, they won the games that they were supposed to win.
Right. Interesting. All right, let's get to the defense, Bart. What grade you giving the defense? Really a shining light for this team all year long.
Yeah, I give the defense a B because I feel like they were good. They weren't below average. They weren't average. They were good. And thinking about all the circumstances, the middle linebacker from Cashman to Avery Williamson to C.J. Mosley on the outside, from Tremaine Johnson to Blesson Austin to Mollett, to all the guys on the outside to, Marcus May kind of coming back slowly. With all that, and also, trading your number 6 overall pick in the middle of the season and Leonard Williams, and the defensive rush defense didn't drop. Nathan Shepard coming back, taking accountability for what he did, and being suspended, coming back, and he played, I felt like, with his hair on fire. I felt like it was an upgrade, actually, to what Leonard Williams did. So I have to give the defense a solid B. I think they were the best unit. They were the strength of this team, and they may continue to be the strength moving forward, especially if they go out and they go get a guy like Shaq Barrett or they go get an Ndakwe. They get a legitimate pass rusher on the edge is what they need.
Thank you.
Ray, when's the last time they had
that was awkward, man. They don't
that was all you could. Don't leave me hanging.
Come back. You don't think it'd be like 2 awkward white people shaking, man.
Oh, my bad.
We got more rhythm.
Yeah, I thought I should be involved in the awkward handshake.
Yeah, that's your role on this.
That's right. What grade you giving the defense?
I also gave him a B. I do believe what Bart said. I think they were the strength of this team. There's no doubt in my mind that they were. Even with all, C.J. Mosley going out, we saw what he brings to the table in that first game, and we saw what the defense was after he went out. It was like total shock for me. I'm like, can this guy be that good? Yeah, he is that good. But, again, when you look at what Greg Williams did and you see that Burgess is better right now, Hewitt's playing better right now, Mollett is in there, Blesson was in there for, a good 4 games where he was awesome. So, for me, the defense was the strength, and they weren't below average. Bart's correct. I think they were, that's what kept them in games, a lot of games. So I gave him a flat B.
Jamal Adams, probably the team MVP, but you can make a case that Greg Williams is in that conversation as well if you're factoring in coaches without question. Let's get to the special teams. What grade are you giving the special teams? Ray Lucas.
Okay, so F. All right.
I was bracing myself.
Let me tell you why, okay? Kerry Vedvik.
Yes.
Did he hit anything as a field goal kicker? Way too many.
We have to explain to everybody, this is the season in review.
Yeah, this is not
up
This
today.
is for the whole season. There were no big splash plays. Right. Barrios did have a couple good runs. He did, but he fair caught just about everything.
Yeah.
Again,
Locke Edwards really took a step back, wasn't elite this year at all.
There was a 25-yard punt.
Yes.
When we're winning, we need to change field position as a whole. Special teams can win games for you. That's how valuable special teams is. You know what I mean? Like when I first came in the league, that's all Parcells talked about.
Third of the game.
Special teams. That's how we're going to win games. If our defense does what they're supposed to do and our offense does what they're supposed to do, that could be the turning factor. So when you have a field goal kicker who's 50% all year long, it's just not good enough for me, and they get the F.
All right, Bart?
I mean, I go with a C, right? And I'm being nice because it's a new year, new me. Almost.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's just how nice it was to Rutgers, man. Man, it's tough, man. Like, they didn't give up any big returns. I think they're
that's because nobody's returning.
I think their punt units were solid. They showed flashes. Just to see, this unit last year was an A, and they let Roberts walk out the door and go over to Buffalo for like peanuts.
We also had a kicker who was a Pro Bowl kicker that they let also walk out the door.
Yeah.
Our Pro Bowl kicker. You want to change my grade? Give me somebody.
You didn't give him many A's, though, last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, at the end of the season review, he was good.
All right,
it wasn't an F, I know that.
That's true.
So I'm just going to stick to my solid C and keep it at that. There's no need to elaborate. Ray pretty much, spelled it all out, said it all.
All right.
It's not Grinch. It's just you being nice.
Let's get to the coaching staff. Bart, what grade you give the coaching staff?
Because of the strength of Greg Williams, I have to give him a B-, and it's only because Greg Williams elevated this team. He had an A because what he had to work with, right? I said it before, chicken salad, chicken, you know what, and then you take maybe a C from Gase and what they were able to do, and I think that averages like out to a B-.
C+.
Why?
Well, defense played outstanding, but offense, no go. Too many injuries, not enough talent up front for Sam. It just, to me, was a very disappointing year to see Sam Darnold, who I still think is very special, be average.